So the last thing is to offer help. So this is a modified close. This is mine. This is not anybody else's, but this is mine. I modified this from the Dan Sullivan question and trying to move the Dan Sullivan question onto online sales, right? It's a little clunky. If you don't know the Dan Sullivan question, who sells something on the phone or in person? A few people, right? Okay. So if you're selling on the phone or in person, the Dan Sullivan close is an amazing close. You know, basically all you do is you get the person on the phone and you say, before we get started with the discussion today, I'd like to ask you a few questions just to kind of set the framework. Is that okay? Yeah, sure. You ask permission. By the way, this is going to be the whole conversation. There isn't going to be anything else. So it allows you get permission to take control of the conversation. The first question is, so, you know, Derek, I'd like for you to do me a favor. I want you to imagine for just a minute that's a year from today and we're chatting, right? By the way, your closers and events. So by the way, it's a year from now and we're chatting and you're saying, you know, meeting Perry in Las Vegas that day really changed my life. It really changed everything. It seems like everything turned around right then. I've been getting everything I want. Life is just about the way I want it, and I'm so excited about the future. You got me? Describe to me what that looks like. Right? So now, you have them tell you what success looks like to them. Now, I have a little twist in there that Sullivan doesn't put in. So at the end of that, when they tell me, I say, well, Derek, congratulations. You just passed my first test. That was kind of sneaky, but I tell you, that was sort of a test. Because a lot of my clients that I work with, they can't describe that to me. And if they can't describe what they're hoping to accomplish, I know that I'm going to fail delivering that to them. But you've passed that test. Congratulations. Let me ask you another question. Now they're all woo, woo, right? So let me ask you another question. You know what you want, right? Why do you think you've not been able to get it up to this point? Right? Listen to their answers. Hopefully, they're internal answers. If they're not, if they're external answers, well, you know, I was trying to, but I went to that Tony Robbins thing and he screwed me over. And then I went to that Derek Gill thing. He just took my money. He screwed me over. And then I hired Laura Betterly to do a bunch of work for me and she screwed me over, right? Right? The thing to do right then, honestly, is to tell them thank you and goodbye. It really is. Because if they're bashing other people out, they're going to bash you out next. If they're making excuses. So I'll say, Derek, I'm going to be honest with you. I did it to you again, buddy. I promise I won't anymore, but you passed my second test. Because you took responsibility. You said, hey, I've been too busy. I've had too much to do with my work. My family's growing. You understand. You didn't blame it on a bunch of other people. Because I know if you blame the lack of success on other people, I'll just be the next guy you blame, and I don't want to work with people like that. You understand. I only want to work with self-actuated, 2% of people that are really going to move forward and do things for themselves. And you sound like one of them. So thanks a lot. But I'm going to ask you any more quiz questions. There are no more tests, I promise. You're fine. Yeah. You just blow them off. I'll tell you how I do it. I do have a nice guy way of doing it. A lot of times people come to me want to go join War Room. And they'll say, well, I'm going to join War Room, but I'm only doing 100 grand a year. I only do 200 grand a year. And the way I do it, say, you know, honestly, right now you're not a good fit for War Room, but I'll tell you what, here's my text, here's my cell phone number, here's my email. If you ever want me to review anything, but if you ever want me to help you with anything, if you want me to review anything for you or anything to help you along till you get there, I'm glad to do it. They rarely ever do. Another way to do it is to give them a qualifier, say, hey, I'm glad to help you. I don't think you're ready for my services because I think I'm going to be too pricey for what you do. Too pricey for what you do. But I'm glad to help you. So why don't you do this? Why don't you write up a 3 to 5 page business plan and send it to me? And I'll review it, and I'll call you back and give you my advice and what I would do. That way you'll never have to hear from them ever again. Yeah, that's actually the way to get the monkey off your back, though, and not be an asshole. Or you can just be an asshole and say, hey, I don't think this is a good fit. But it's probably better to do it the other way. Or you can be like me on a phone call with Merrill Lynch bankers one night. I told the guy that he had the stupidest fucking idea I'd ever heard, and I couldn't waste any more time with him because I had a pizza coming. Thinking I was talking to a consultant for the Goldman Sachs. I'm talking to the consultant that was cock-blocking a deal with Goldman Sachs. Actually, I was talking to the guy from Goldman Sachs. And I told him that he had the dumbest fucking idea I'd ever heard in my life, and I didn't have time to fuck with people like him. I had to get a pizza. With Roland on the phone. And then I left the call. Because, hey, drop the mic, baby. If you're going to do it, do it. Don't bullshit an answer, you know. You got to follow through. It's like, yeah, well, I wanted to put up with your shit. You slam the door to your house just when you realize you don't have your keys. Never a good idea. You're going to fight with your wife, make sure your keys are in your pocket before you start the fight. Just a little tip from your Uncle Perry. She asked, do you ever deal with self-doubt? I don't really, and I'll tell you why I don't. I use this close. We close $250,000 deals with this close. We close $500 deals, $7,000 a month deals. And I used to say, I won't buy something unless, if it's not a hell yes, it's a no. I approach it that way now with my clients. Unless they're a hell yes and all into me, to me it's a no. And I just take it as a no and I move on. Because I just think that convincing them to really cross the line, once you've made your presentation, you told your story, you've expressed your facts, trying to convince somebody that they're a good idea, that you're a good idea when because they have self-doubt or because they don't trust you or because whatever, it just always comes back to be a pain in my ass. So I would just as soon they piss off and go away. You know, I got in a lot of trouble. I got in a lot of legal trouble. I tell people about it a lot. 11 years ago, I almost went to jail. I lost everything I had in the world. I've got bad press about me online. You can go read all of it you want. And I used to be wigged about it for 3 years. It drove me crazy. I mean, fucked me up, right? In my head, it really fucked me up. Now, I'm grateful for it because it's a filter that runs off pains in my ass, right? I'm glad for it. Because somebody told me once, the people who mind don't matter, and the people that matter don't mind. And I've never forgotten that. If I said anything, I would say something snarky and smart ass like, you know, you miss 100% of the balls you don't swing at. So it's up to you. I used to have in one of my sales letters, at the bottom of the sales letter, I love this copy. I don't use it anymore. Ryan freaked out, thought it was too harsh. But at the bottom of the copy, I had at the end of the thing, said, hey, look, if you're not into my thing, I understand it. This is not for everything. It's like my daddy always said, the world needs ditch diggers too, son. Just go on and do whatever it is in life you want to do. Good luck. But you shame somebody into it. I think any of that, shaming somebody into it, talking them into it, it's a bad idea. So offer your help. So, let me finish the Dan Sullivan. So the Sullivan Close is, that's your second part of the Sullivan Close, is what's been keeping you from it. So great. So let me recap. So Alex, what you really want is this, this, and this, right? And you say, yeah. Okay, but what's been keeping you from getting it, you're pretty clear on, is that, and that, right? Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you another question, and I'm almost done. What resources, tools, experience, or skills do you have that we can use to help overcome those objections, to overcome those challenges, and complete your goals? Well, you know, I'm a pretty good copywriter, and I got a lot of extra time, and I can work extra at work. My brother-in-law's a congressman, and whatever the case may be, they're going to spout some stuff off. And what they're getting from that question is hope. They're starting, hey, you never thought about asking Jimmy. I never thought about me being a pretty good writer. I never thought about this or that. So they're starting to build their own hope. You said almost nothing, by the way, in this whole pitch. They've talked the whole time. And then finally you just say, okay, so man, Jimmy, that's great. That's good news. So let me recap real quick, and then we'll go on to whatever you want to talk about. So one, ideally, you really want this, this, and this. You know, secondarily, the only reason you hadn't got that is because of that, that, and that. But you got all these resources that we should be able to leverage pretty good, along with what I got, my team, and help you overcome those obstacles and get to those goals you want. Sound about right? Yeah. I just got one more question. You want some help? That's all you have to do in person. They'll say, yes. You're the first person that's listened to their stuff and ever. You say, okay, let me connect you to Mary really quick. She'll get you taken care of. We'll book another call as soon as you're off the phone with her. Maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Sound good? Let's get started. I like to get started right away. But you okay with getting started right away? Yeah. Done. That's how you close 20, 30 grand in one call on a phone call or in person. But if you can move more of that system over to print, it really helps you, right? So I think in that transition, you offer help. You know what you want. You know how to get it now. You know what's been holding you back. You know you have the ability. Do you want some help?